Hi, so here we have Madame Mourani. She's MP for Ahuntsic area in Montreal. And today we're here to get some insight into the politics from Madame Mourani.
No problem.
We welcome you
Hi, everyone.
We welcome you on behalf of the listeners of New Canadian Media.
My pleasure.
And let's start with that. Before you were with the Sovereignist Party, Bloc Québécois.
Yeah.
And now you're not. What has changed?
Oh, a lot of things changed.
Okay.
I resigned to the Bloc in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1 year now, almost 1 year.
Yes.
And I'm no longer sovereignist because I don't believe in this ideology or this vision. I believe we can be proud Quebecers,
Of course.
in
Yes.
Canada,
Yes.
and we can work hard to build a better Canada, good vision, generous vision, and I guess like a Quebecers, we have to take our place in Canada.
Yes.
And try to work hard and convince other Canadians to maybe to share our point of view or our values, like our politics in Quebec. We have good politics in Quebec, for example, for daycare. And when I was in the critique of women's status, I met a lot of women groups in all Canada, and they just would like to have the same program that we have here in Quebec for the children and the family, the daycare program. And I guess we have a lot of things to share with other Canadians, and when we just focus on independence, we live like alone, and we don't want to be with the other Canadian, and we have we reject.
Yeah, so you don't believe in the separatist ideology?
No.
You'd rather be like a proud Quebecer Canadian?
Yes, and I guess it's possible to be a proud Quebecers and respect ourselves and the others, and be Canadian and build a better place to live all together.
And when you left Parti Québécois after your open critique of the Charter of Values, and you were critiquing them for going against the rights of minorities, and being a minority yourself, you must have come across some challenges in and out of the office. And can you explain your views on how the Charter of Values of Quebec undermines the minority rights?
It's not just minority rights, it's religious people.
Okay.
So they try to implement this law, but it's not, we have to say it's not a law right now, so they can do it. I guess they can do it because it's against the Charter of Liberty and Rights and Freedoms.
Yes.
So for me, it was a very hard time because I realized that Parti Québécois tried with this with this charter, they thought they can win election with that,
Yes.
They thought they can win election with, divide people and reject some people and target some peoples. And it was religious people, not only minority.
Minorities and religious facts.
In fact, religious people. And for me, this is unacceptable.
Right, because you did mention that it was the violation of basic human rights.
And the rights of religions.
Yes.
The right of the religion. I can understand we live in a secular country,
Yes.
Canada and also Quebec, a province, all the province there, secular. But if you wear your cross or your kippa or your veil, that's not means the state are, is not more secular.
Right.
In our country, we decided a long time ago to separate religion and politics, and that's right. This is a good way to do, but it's not because you wear a religion sign that means you try to convince other. If you, for example, if you have a cross or a veil, that doesn't mean you try to convince other than to become Muslim or Christian or Jewish. This is your right to wear what you want.
It's like your own personal identification.
Yes, and so for some people, religion, it's a part of their identity.
Yes.
So how come you can say you will target these peoples, those peoples, and say, okay, if you wear a cross or a veil, you will lose your job.
Right. So that's like being very exclusive. It doesn't really work.
So that's why, for me, it was a very bad law and a very bad decision for Parti Québécois to do this, because almost Parti Québécois doesn't have a good image in minority, minority people, and this kind of politics, people don't feel comfortable with that.
And let me just ask you again, like being a minority yourself, and not from the mainstream religion as well, you must have come across some challenges. Can you maybe tell us about that?
I guess the first challenge is to be a woman in politics.
That's a big one.
It's a big challenge.
Yes.
To be a woman in politics. And also, you're right, it's a challenge to be a minority. But you know what? It's interesting too, because you bring with you a different vision of, for example, of immigration, of women condition, and I guess it's a rashness to have different kind of people in the House of Commons, or even in Quebec, in Legislative Assembly. So it's challenge, but also it's challenge for us. But I guess it's a richness for the country to have all this diversity in the House. And also, we don't have too much diversity.
No, and that's what I was going to ask you next. What are your views on the politics of cultural diversity in various levels of government?
Yeah, we don't have too much. We don't have too much, and this is a challenge. I guess we need more women in the House, and we need more minority in the House, and also younger men and young girls. It's maybe with the last election, it's changed because of the NDP tsunami. So the tsunami brought minority, women, and young people, you know. So
that was good.
That was good, and I hope for the next election we can keep this diversity. Yeah.
Do you have any comments on the upcoming reform of the current Quebec immigration policy?
I don't have comments about that, because I didn't see right now the bill or what they want to do.
Okay.
But I guess the important point is to yes, it's important to choose our immigration.
Yes.
But when we decide a few years ago Quebec decided to have a professional immigrant with skills, with a diploma, and sometimes PhD.
Yes.
So you need to put programs to help these people to have a job.
Exactly.
But the real problem for me is not to choose the immigration. It's to fix the problem of the job.
Exactly, because there are temporary workers coming in, and we have this immigration policy, and yet we have unemployment here.
Yeah, and I met a lot of people, Algerian, Moroccan, Pakistanis, African, and all the country. They came here with a lot of hopes, and they try to find a job, and it's so difficult because they live racism. For example, they have a special name, a special color. So it's very difficult for minority people to find a job. And these issues, I guess, the government right now, they didn't talk about that in this plan of to rebuild a new vision of immigration.
But do you have any idea maybe which countries they are going to try to target now to get the immigrants from?
I really don't know, but I don't think they will target a country. I don't think.
Maybe set of countries,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I guess they will set kind of skills.
Okay.
Yeah,
Skill
for
Okay.
the job. I guess, but I didn't see the bill right now, so I can't talk about that.
Okay. No
Yeah.
problem. And what is your main focus